5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome at the Global Empowerment Summit. I will mute Leon a little bit until the mics are getting used to each other. So we are here at the Global Empowerment Summit, and I'm here with Leon, who is one of my favorite friends, and I'm so happy to get to know him because he's just spreading love and positivity whenever I see him on the screen. So I'm super happy to have you in the summit, especially because you are representing the young generation and you are helping also young people and also wise people to love themselves and to understand what self-love means. Hi, Leon. So let's start with an explanation who you are and also personal things, not just about your profession, please.
Of course. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session. My name is Leon. And ever since I was young until now, my entire life mission has been to create safe spaces. And this safe space is meant for people to come and meet themselves, to love themselves and to choose themselves. And that is the entire 3 pillars of my conversation with myself, self-love movement. It's the core of everything I do. And self-love is so important. It is the foundation of everything else in our life. It is the relationship that we have with ourselves that govern the relationship we have with the world, with the people around us, with every single thing that we do. And personal stuff. Well, if you follow me in my life, I am quite boring. My entire life is coaching, and I eat, I drink, I breathe it. And in a way that's how the conversation with myself movement came about as well. It was one day that I felt this urge from my heart that says, Leon, let's create something to pay it forward to the world, to give back to society. And I always wanted to create something, but I didn't know what it was. And one day inspiration came at a beautiful timing, and this movement started to form itself. And right now it's still forming itself because it's only how many months old? About 2 or 3 months old. Yeah, I came out from employment in July, and I decided to pursue coaching full-time since I love it so much and I cannot get it out of my system. And this is my second attempt to come out in terms of the coaching world. The first one was a few years ago. Actually 2-3 years ago. Within 1 year, my company closed down. It was a young boy coming out, let's do business. Had no idea what business was. And now I've grown a little bit, and the steps are clearer for me. And it is so beautiful. I can see the growth. I see Jagatisvari. Hello.
Yes,
Welcome.
Jag is here. Hi, Jag. It's really nice to have you here. And you are representing the two different, end of the magnet. We have the wise and the youth here. So it's really, really good. Hope we have an amazing intergenerational conversation later. So, Leon, I'm really curious about you and how you turned out to be so emotionally sensitive, and how you can sense the people so much, because I see that you are so gifted with this, to talk to people in a natural way, and to express emotions. Like when you talk, it just comes through the screen, the same way like we would talk in live, in person. How do you do that, and where did you learn it?
Oh, good question. I wasn't always like this. If you looked back at my childhood and my teenage years, it was such a stark contrast. I was a very young, very angry young boy. Like there was so much rage in my body that it constantly expressed itself. People tell me these days, Leon, I cannot picture you angry. A joke I used to make is, I used up all my anger when I was a kid. It's not true. I can still get angry. But now it is, I realized that there was a lot of pain in my life. And that anger came from pain. And I wasn't very loving with myself. With the pain, I did not know how to let it out of my system. And the only way that I could direct it was towards myself. So I used to punch walls until my knuckles bleed and all of that. So that was absolutely not loving to myself. And in my teenage years, it was the complete opposite. It was a complete shutdown. So all what you say is like how I express myself, all of it was shut down. You wouldn't see me expressing myself when I was a teenager. It would be complete monotonous, dead, intellectual, factual, hate conversation, and I cut off the access to my heart. So it was swinging from one extreme to the end, emotions to emotionless, and all of that from a lot of pain. So the entire journey is really working through the stuff that was within. If I would dare say, there was a hole in my life that I didn't know what it was, and I wanted to fill it so desperately. And I guess that was what prompted the journey into personal development. And a lot of people say people who enter the profession of helping others usually want to help themselves. I guess that was true for my case too. And I didn't know it. It was unconscious, but when I look back this year, I could connect the dots. Yes, I was. And I found that hole to be self-love. I was looking for love outside myself. And so desperately wanting to cling to everything that I could feel love. But that was not love. That was more of attachment, I would say. That I was wanting to get love, but it wasn't love that I got. And so there was this hole that wants to be filled. And I tried everything to fill it, good food and everything else. And nothing seemed to work. At the same time, there was this moment where someone told me, Leon, you have walls around you. And this was a few years back, and I told him, no, I don't have walls. I did. And I projected back to him, no, you have walls, in my head. I didn't say it out loud. And one day I realized, I don't have a wall, I have a freaking castle. There was a moat around me. And in the moat, there were alligators. So if you fall down the moat, you die. I had my archers that will shoot you if you try to cross the moat. And if you fall down again, you also die. When you enter my castle, I have my spearmen. When you enter my royal room, I have my royal guards. When you reach me, I have my own sword. So that's a sense of how guarded I was, how closed I was. And there's so many things that contributed to my heart closing. And that didn't allow me to love myself. I didn't know. And I was in this workshop. It was Points of View Level 2, facilitated by John Francois. And during the last exercise of Level 2, I spoken my insight, and I could feel the top of my heart physically. I can hear a pop, something was cracking. And him being the brilliant facilitator he is, he asked me to repeat the insight one more time. I said it, and I could feel the entire thing burst open, and I started crying. I said, this is what it feels like to touch your truth. And that, I guess that's what they say, the truth will set you free. And in that moment, that open-heartedness and that freedom just came back. So it was It's a long journey. From 13 years old, I officially started the journey until today. I'm 25 this year, so it's a fun one.
I really love it. I'm watching you, and I don't know whether the audience is feeling the same, but I'm kind of like getting emotional at the same time when you're speaking. So you really have this power of expressing whatever you feel on your gestures, in your body posture, how you talk, the calmness from your voice. It's really, really interesting. I was like almost like crying. I mean, it's starting to, because I just feel you. It's really interesting. I have never seen it before like this online with anyone before. So really, really amazing gift that you have.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Sean is saying hi, Leon. Hi, Sean.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to the
Really nice
session.
to meet you. So let's go further in this exploration of self-love. You had your own journey. You learned something from someone. Point of view was there for you. We can talk a little bit about this later. But I believe it's such an interesting point here that for the young people, especially who are online all the time, they are missing this kind of emotional fulfillment because it's always about instant gratification, sending messages very shortly. And I don't know how you see it, but I rarely see this kind of emotional intelligence with the youth as a spectator. So, what would you say could improve it, or do I see it right? That's also the question, because I'm from another generation. Maybe I just don't see it. Maybe it's under the surface, right? That we don't see. So tell me a little bit more about this.
Emotional intelligence for my generation. I'll say in every generation there will be spectrums, from those who are absolutely not aware to those who are, I am here and I am aware and I take conscious actions to change my life. And it really depends on the awareness for the person to choose to be aware. And that is a difficult conversation to have, because most people, to be aware means, oh, I have to take responsibility for my actions now. And not many people like the word responsibility. It is so loaded. But at the same time, that is also what sets you free. Because to take responsibility, to see the world as it is, that is loving for us. And that comes back to the 3 pillars of the self-love movement I have. Because self-love, I don't believe it's the, oh, I love myself, the gooey emotional stuff. That can happen, but that is not the core of it. The core of it I see is the first pillar is the pillar of truth. To see the world as it is, to see ourselves as we are, and to meet ourselves where we are. And meet the world where it is as well. And start from that space. And not many people want to. And to see the world with clean eyes, without the loaded perspective or the rose tinted or whatever color glasses we have, is not easy, because it has been the way that we've related to the world for so long. And to actually shift that point of view takes both guts and a choice, and a conscious choice. I no longer wish to live this way. What is the quality of life that I wish for myself? And the way that we access truth is by reconnecting with ourselves. And many people for I wouldn't say just my generation, I think many people in many generations as well have this, where there is a disconnect with myself. And I could see this for myself when I was younger until early this year. It was only, not early this year, I would say a few years ago, where I really started to reconnect and come home to myself. And there can be many reasons why we are disconnected. I just ran a workshop for this 5 days ago for World Mental Health Day. And one reason could be that there's a lot of noise. Whether it's external noise, the noise of society or family or friends or all of that, or internal noises from the head that usually come from the outside that we've kept for ourselves, we've internalized them, that get into the way of us listening to our truth. So it's a noisy world, and there's a saying that the heart whispers, so it's quiet. So the loud noise covers the voice of our hearts. It could be one reason. The second reason could be we carry the past and the pain with us. So we are a collection of stories. Who we are right now is a collection of stories and archetypes. And sometimes we choose our stories and we live them. Other times, the story lives us. It runs our life without us knowing or being conscious of it. And it becomes a very automatic life. And then we ask ourselves, how come I'm in this situation again? It's like the 5th or the 20th time. I don't want this anymore, but I keep getting the same results. It's the patterns running us. And a third possible reason is that we are overwhelmed. There's so much going on that, those what do you call it? We have this thing in our house where when lightning strikes, it takes away and it protects the stuff in our house, our aircon, our TV, our refrigerator. That thing that takes is like that disconnection. It's so much that we cannot bear it right now, or we don't have the capacity to hold it right now. We have not been trained to, and that cuts off. And so we are disconnected. And to reconnect and come home and really see where we are and to build capacity for the world, of being in the world, is the first step. And that is a daunting experience for many people. It's like, I have to do that. The alternative is, if we don't, then we don't live in truth. We see the world through our delusions or our illusions or imagination. Yeah, my world is like this. It's great. But when we really relate to it, it's like, it's like this. I don't want this. But something gets into the way of us seeing the truth. So the invitation is to dare to meet ourselves and meet the world as it is. When that happens, the truth will set you free and your entire life will change. But the first pillar is scary. It can be daunting and overwhelming, which is why the second pillar is important. The second pillar, I haven't shared this on LinkedIn yet, so you are the first people to hear it, unless you are already in the group. The second pillar is the pillar of being loving. And I was so angry at this this pillar for so long. John Francois was with me, and I asked him, "Can I curse here, Andrea, or shall I keep it PG-13?"
You can curse a little bit, a nice one.
Okay. I asked him what the F is self-love. How the hell do you do it? And I was so angry. I was really angry. I was fuming and because it was an exploration I could not figure out. My head was wanting to figure it out, but I couldn't. So there was frustration and pain and And he looked back at me so lovingly and he said, "It's not a doing." And that changed everything. Because I noticed that what he's saying is the quality of being. It's being loving with myself. We don't do self-love. A lot of people think of self-love as, okay, let me get my spas, my manicures, let me go get Wagyu beef for my family, or whichever way you pamper yourself. Or you get bath bombs and you just chill in the bathtub for hours and you relax. That in a way can be self-care, but that is not self-love. And why this is so is the quality of being loving is that of compassion, gentleness, and caring for ourselves. And for many people, these qualities are easier to be given to others than to be given to themselves. And I know this to be true for me too. I was giving all of it out, none for me, and I just wanted to give it to others. And when I looked into it and I asked myself, if I can give this amount of unconditional love to others, what if I give it to myself? And that was 3 or 4 months ago, which is why I decided to come out and restart this journey of coaching again. That was me being loving with myself. So this is the first 2 pillar. Yes, Andrea?
I just love it. I mean, I will be your forever friend.
We are friends. Haven't got to meet you physically yet. We got on Zoom like twice before.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Malaysia. I would love to meet you soon.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. I would love to have a coffee or something with you because this is just amazing. I mean, you were mentioning so many things that I resonate with. Like my tagline is "Dare to Dance Your Way." Of course, it's coming from the dancing background, but I would love to encourage people to be themselves, to love themselves. And you are expressing yourself so much, and I learned so much from you during this session, actually. Let us connect with a little bit with the audience. So we have
Emma.
Jax, Sean, and Emma here. So Emma is saying, "I agree. It's easier to give to others because I thought I'm not worthy of love."
Right. And Emma, that's absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. You are worthy of love and you are worthy of everything that you wish in life. You are enough. Because the entire I see a world where everyone feels like that they are enough, that they are worthy and they are loved. And all these three qualities are unconditional. You do not need to be a certain way to be loved, to be cared for, or to feel worthy. That you are lovable, worthy, and enough as you are. And that's a beautiful starting point. And that will change the world. There's so many people live in not worthy or not enough or not loved. And that's a painful space to be in. But that pain is important. The pain is the first pillar. It tells you, hey, this is not who you are and this is not true. And when that happens, it calls you to pay attention. Whenever there's pain, it's a calling. Hello, listen. I'm here. And it calls us to listen to our truths. And when we do so, we have our own path. All of us have our own path, even though we are similar teams. And my path in terms of rediscovering self-love was I fell in love. Remember the castle I had? All of a sudden, this young lady was in front of me and she bypassed all my guards and all my archers, and she was standing in front of me, and I didn't want to cut her down either. And she did not need to be different to be loved. So it's easier to project that love outside. But at the same time, to notice that, if I can project it outside, that means I have it. So what if I reclaim that I have it? What if I reclaim, in your words, worthiness? How beautiful would your life be? How different will you live life? What if the question is not, am I worthy? What if the question is, are my dreams and everything that I choose in my life worthy of me? How different would that relationship be? It's a very different way of relating to life. I am absolutely worthy and lovable. What do I want? And not what does my head want, but what do I really want? What do I want at the core and the center of my being? And when you touch that one, the entire world opens up to you. Which is why the first pillar is so powerful. Truth really does set us free. And what is true for us is loving for us. What is loving for us is true for us. It cannot be any other way. So
Let's recap the pillars. Let's do a little recap for the people who are just joining us. So let's put the pillars that you mentioned already next to each other. Could you do a very short summary?
yes. So the first pillar is the pillar of truth. And the quality of truth is one that we can experiment with, we can play with. Because it's different for many people in the beginning. So meet your truth where you are. And as you go deeper with your truth, we start to converge. And it can be scary to meet our truth because it asks us to look at the important questions as well. Who am I? Who am I really? Instead of my roles, my age, my occupation, my job, the amount of money I earn, the properties I have, the relationships I have, all of that, if we let go of them, who am I? What do I really want? Not just what I want, but what do I really, really want at the core of my being? Why am I born? all of these important questions can be answered when we are centered in truth. And the absolute quality of truth is beautiful. And it can be daunting, which is why we have the second pillar: being loving, being gentle, being compassionate, being caring for ourselves and the people around us. And the third pillar we have not touched yet, let's start here, is the pillar of devotion. Devotion is, in a way, action. To actively, based on our truth and being loving with ourselves, to choose things that are loving. Because it's one thing to know, oh yeah, this is my truth and this is how I'm loving with myself. Wow, that's great. And I don't take any action or I don't change anything, nothing changes. Which is why devotion is so powerful. Our actions tell the world, this is who I am, right here, right now. And the world responds to you, yes, you are. And in that sense, we are powerful beyond our imaginations. Because in that sense, we are literally the creators of our own world. Every single decision we make shapes the world around us. Every single focus we have changes our relationship with the world. It categorizes it into, okay, this is what I'm focusing on, this is what is important, and this is what's getting into my way, and everything else is irrelevant. We shape our world through every focus and every decision we make. Which is why the third pillar is powerful. It is, I choose. I choose me. I choose what is loving for me. I no longer choose things that harm me and are not loving for me. I choose my dreams. I choose everything I ever want for myself. I choose love and everything that is meant for me. So that is the three pillars of the conversation with myself movement.
All right, I'm like this. Thank you very much. This was amazing. This was amazing. I will literally do a shortcut from this interview straight after, and I will post it on the social medias. It's amazing. I have to feature you. I already connected you with you 3 people. I sent your details to some of my friends and speakers who really would resonate with you. So I hope you will get this, what you gave to us, back from them by collaborations. Thank you very much, Leon. It's just like so amazing to see you, as Annie Lee would say, in your soul center. It's just beautiful. It's really beautiful. Thank you very much. So Divya is in the studio already. Let me just bring her up and ask her about self-love.
Of course.
Hey.
Hi, Divya.
Hello. Hi. Leon, I just heard, I came in a little while ago. It was a summary, but really loved your sharing, man.
Thank you.
Really good stuff. Thank you so much for sharing all of that.
Yes, thank you so much.
So share with us a little bit. Oh yes, we have an octopus.
So
Yes, this is Octi. He keeps me company.
Right, so nice. Divya, share a little bit about your perspective before we switch to your session. What do you think about self-love and why is it so important for all generations?
All right. So self-love literally begins with yourself, right? So the thing is, self-love is super duper important because you are your biggest supporter. And you may not have the most supportive family, the most supportive friends, but when you tell yourself, hey, it's all right, I got you. And we always have someone speaking on our head, right? It's that quiet voice that says like, hey, it's all right, you can handle this, you got this. So I really believe that is self-love, and it's super important to keep us going. That's the first thing that picks us up or helps us up when we're down. Then comes family, then comes friends, then comes all our surroundings. So that's what I think about self-love.
That's absolutely beautiful. That is the entire second pillar. Treat yourself like you would your best friend or someone you absolutely love.
Yep, exactly.
That will change everything.
It does. It really does.
Thank you so
and
much.
let me just share with the audience that tomorrow Leon is coming back with a workshop. So I will just show it here. So he will do a workshop on self-love, being gentle with yourself. So if you are interested, please, you know already how it works. You go on the website, you go to the calendar, the summit calendar, and you just click on the session title, and it will expand, and you will see the links how you can enter the workshop room and be there in person, not just on YouTube, and connect with Leon and learn a lot from him. Thank you very much, Leon. It was an amazing session. It was really nice to have you in the studio. You spread love wherever you appear. So I'm really, really happy about this. You just filled my heart that what I'm doing, it's worthwhile. It's really good to bring all of you up and share all these different perspectives from all the different generations perspective. You see, Jagati's self-love is what keeps you motivated and allows you to be strong. I'm soft but strong. That's what she says. She's soft but strong. It's so describing how Jag is at her soul center. So it's really, really nice. Thank you very much. Let's switch the studio, and I will continue with Divya about another very interesting topic.
Thank you all for having me. I want to say bye to the people who have joined us. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Kiva. Kiva just joined. Hello. Now bye-bye. I guess if you're joining us tomorrow is the entire pillar 2. Not entire, it is pillar 2. And to be gentle with ourselves. So for those who are interested, come join us there. For those who want to join the conversation with my self movement, PM me on LinkedIn. And I will pass the floor to Divya. I'll high five the webcam to pass it to you.
Everyone, let's pick. High five. Yeah, this hand and to the camera, not to your face.
The bacon has been passed.
Thank you very much, Leon. Goodbye. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Much love. Bye-bye. Enjoy.
Bye-bye. All right, Divya, let's just switch the
Hi.
studio. Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. Still in the high of last Wednesday's show. The panel discussion was amazing. The vibe, the chemistry between all of us was so good. I think if the condition permits, we'll definitely go out for coffee and brunch and all of that stuff. So first off, I really gotta thank you for being the superwoman behind the Global Empowerment Summit. I saw you doing it last year, and now you're back at it, all all energetic. I'm very thankful what you're doing, and please keep going because you're helping a lot of people.
Thank you, Divya, and I'm really, really thankful for you for being here. And let's just do a little recap until I set up the banners and everything, and introduce yourself a little bit to the audience. Tell us a little bit about yourself, not just your profession, not just what you do, but also the person behind all the things that you do. So if you give me a little bit of introduction, it will give me some time to put up the banners.
Yeah, sure. All right. So hello, everybody. Everybody that's tuned in. I'm very thankful that you have joined us here. My name is Divya, and I just completed my degree in mass communications with a major in public relations. And and what I do currently is I'm employed full-time with a HR tech provider based in KL. I also have my own startup, which is a social media marketing / content providing company. It's called Restory. I started or embarked on my entrepreneurial journey last year. So just like Andrea just put up the topic, I'll be talking about balanced opportunities and how I weigh out my opportunities, because I always get questions thrown at myself asking like, dude, you're very young, how are you managing things? How are you going to succeed in everything? And I honestly believe that success is not it doesn't come to us in a linear way. It's always ups and it's always downs, and you just have to endure through it and just keep being yourself. And it's very important to not lose yourself while you're chasing success, it's very important not to lose your mind peace, because that's the most important thing. The most powerful thing is your mind, and it's very important to not lose the peace in your mind. So yeah, I think that kind of summarizes stuff. And as we speak, I'm pretty sure that the audience will get a hold of my personality and the way I think.
I love it. I love the way you are, and I love how you are dealing with things. I remember the first time I pushed you into the deep water last time when we had Terry. I think it was Terry Kelly, from the
Yes.
Instagram lady who is very, very
Yeah,
famous
she
for
was she
now.
was amazing. I loved her.
So Terry Carell is someone I'm really adoring. She's from Jamaica. She has an amazing, amazing energy. If you want to check out for her, go to her Instagram or LinkedIn, and you will see she's a celebrity personality who is inspiring Jamaica. And yeah, I was connecting them, and I was the first time with Divya, and I was pushing her. Oh, let's have this conversation. You and Terry would be
Yeah,
such a
it
nice
was.
couple.
Yeah. Yeah, we had very good chemistry, and we vibed off each other, which was amazing.
Yeah, it was really nice to see how you flourish in this environment, when you are put somewhere which is a bit stressy. I really would like you to talk about this first, because we need to warm up a little bit to this session. So
Yes, definitely.
how did you feel at the beginning when I told you that I will put you there? And the second, how did you deal with your stage fright, or with the thing that every young person that I hear today is dealing with, like how to ask and talk to more how you say that, experienced people, or
Mm-hmm.
at least people who are already in the field for a long time, with courage.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this, up and down,
So
your roller
yeah.
coaster.
I'm going to be extremely honest. I'm always straightforward. You know me, Andrea.
Yes.
So the thing with, how I felt when you first told me, hey, Divya, you're going to go on a live interview with Dr. Terry. I was so scared. I checked Dr. Terry. I was like, I'm nobody, and this amazing woman is coming in, and she's going to share her space with me, and she's going to ask me about myself. I felt like, what do I have to share? How do I, measure up to an individual that's so amazing? She's just. I have no words for Dr. Terry, to be honest. So, at first, obviously, I was extremely insecure. I don't think the insecurities ever leave us, for youngsters, or even speaking for myself, definitely. I don't think my insecurities ever leave my mind. It's always there. But the thing is, remember I said the quiet voice in your mind, the very soft whisper that says, hey, it's okay. You know, um, Life is all about learning, and if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? And if you're not going to grab this opportunity, is it going to come back? And just imagine the growth that I would get, the growth that I would get going out of your comfort zone. Because I have seen so many motivational speakers, a lot of TikTok videos saying that you can never grow when you're in a comfortable space, in a comfortable, I would say, mindset. You're so comfortable, you end up failing, because only uncomfortability will push you to go further, to explore. And when you're uncomfortable, it's you try to find ways to survive that period. And I think that's very important. So yeah, and stage fright. Yeah, I have no words, to be honest. Right before coming into, like, there was like 12 minutes before the show, and I was like, okay, calm down, it's fine, you can do this, it's okay, you'll be fine. And like right now, I know on top I look all, like, okay, I'll pull together, but then like I'm like shaking my leg, like, oh God, I can't wait, and I hope I can answer all the questions coming from the audience and yourself, and really bring some insight to the topic today. So, stage fright, it's just how well you mask it, right? So, yeah.
I think I cannot add one thing, like with dancers, you never get rid of the stage fright. Even the good dancers, they always have this kind of excitement, and then it's just our choice or control that we can
Yes.
put it into something that is empowering us and something that makes us stronger, or it becomes something that can stop us or makes us make mistakes. So
Yes.
it's really something that you need to practice by getting into this state and trying new
Yes.
things, right?
I think it also, stage fright also supplies us with a certain kind of high, I would say. So, like right before you're coming into the
Mhm.
session and you have the session, and right after that you just be like, wow, it's really wearing down right now. And that's when you kind of replay everything and be like, okay, it's not that bad. I kind of masked it well, I kind of covered it up okay. So yeah.
So let's go further with the topic and let's go explore what
Yeah,
is your topic. So you
sure.
chose the topic. The audience doesn't know, but I was asking every expert, every speaker here to choose something that they would love to talk about, and they think that it would bring value to the audience. I wanted them to be creative and to feel that this is also your space to create and to share. So Divya chose balanced opportunities, which is obviously coming from her situation also that she is in. But I would love you to elaborate and talk a little bit more about your title and what's behind.
Yes, definitely. So, I think my professional development journey began last year, mid of last year, where I was a student, and then I realized that I want to do something more. I want to give bigger impact, because being a student, I was given amazing opportunities by my lecturers. And big shout out to Miss Cheryl. I know she could be watching, and she might be watching later. So big shout out to her for allowing me to explore my strengths. So I was able to, join conferences and watch speakers come on board, or watch youngsters, my peers, get motivated to be better in life. And a lot of the speakers always said, grab all your opportunities, weigh out your options, don't miss out on any opportunities that you get. But the thing with opportunities is that sometimes when you already have something at your hand and you want to grab that opportunity, but then you just know or feel like you can't handle that much pressure or that much workload and time that you have to spend on such an amazing opportunity. And I've come across many crossroads where I felt like this is something that I really want to do, but I do not have the capacity for it right now. And that is when eventually I realized that I need to balance things out. I need to figure out how I can keep this opportunity, take it, benefit from it, but at the same time, um, maintain all my other tasks. So I began Restory late last year, after I joined your summit. And the restory was in the planning stages before I joined the summit. And I was also working freelance, writing articles, doing copywriting, and even social media management. And I told myself, look, this is something that you want to do, but you are a student. And yes, I want to gain some pocket money. Okay, but I also want to build my network. So how do I manage all of this? These are very important things for I would say for individuals my age, especially once you're graduating, you're going to the workforce, and you're just trying to make a name for yourself. And this is why I say, weigh things out, you know, and that is what I had to do. I had to say, okay, so the first half of the day, I go for classes. The next, during lunch hour, I perhaps, help things out at home if possible, and then, make sure I eat. And then later it's work. And I also need to spend some time to relax, and I also need to spend some time for my friends, for my family. I need to keep reading because I love reading so much. It gives me so much peace. And I just have to find ways to bring everything together, but at the same time not lose what I love. So that's the thing. That is why I chose the topic balanced opportunities. It's all about figuring what can come first and what can be put on hold, but at the same time not losing out on that particular opportunity. And how perhaps look into how you can pause that particular opportunity. When someone comes up and say, hey, would you mind doing this business for me? How are you going to perhaps answer? Or if you get a job offer, but that's not going to, for example, benefit you right away, how are you going to weigh that out because you have bills to pay? So yeah, that's the reason behind balanced opportunities title.
I remember Jasmine Roy was also joining us last year, and she's here with
Yeah.
us this year too. And we had the first secret room last week
Last year.
on
Oh,
Sunday,
last
and
week. All right. Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
and it was really nice because we had her there, and then she expressed also this what you said, that when you are at a job, you start up at a new place after your school, you are having all these feelings like, can I speak to someone? Do I have to do everything? I don't like what I do. Just after a few months, you just
Mm-hmm.
don't like. And then it comes to it that we were staying together with only oldies in the room, that it's basically, it starts like this. You don't have your perfect job for the first time when you apply for a job and you get an internship, but you learn so many things during these sessions, during
Mm-hmm.
these interactions at your
Yes.
workplace.
Exactly. So that's the thing. I don't think the perfect job exists. Um, because there's always and the fact that nobody's perfect. So hoping for a perfect job, it's like an illusion. And you just have to learn how you can do what you love without having to do what people want you to do, and not saying that you don't have to do it. You still have to do it because they're paying you and that's your responsibility. But hey, your hobbies can turn into monetary income. Your passion can turn into an income. So how are you just going to leverage that? Because your hobbies, your passion is an opportunity on itself. If you're a great artist, start drawing more. And maybe instead of going out for dinner or late dinner with your colleagues that you have already spent about 8 hours a day or even 12 hours a day, maybe just go back home to yourself, go back home to your passion and try to figure things out. Hey, how can I monetize on my passion? How can I monetize on skills that I'm not utilizing at work? And I believe that it takes certain sacrifices. Obviously, it does a lot of sacrifices. And I've seen it, being a student, having your own startup, working, going in as a intern slash learning a new field or industry with a mentor or people who are guiding you. It takes a lot of sacrifices. I have missed family dinners. I have missed friends' birthdays. I have missed my sleep. And there were days that I slept for like 3 hours, 2 hours, perhaps one week. People say get 8 hours of sleep per day, but I usually sometimes got 8 hours of sleep per week. And it was chaotic. But the thing is, I tell myself now is that look where you are now. You know, all that. Yes, I still do miss certain dinners with friends and family, but in the end, I'm benefiting from it. And I know that people who leave while you are making time for yourself, while you're hustling for yourself, are not people that you are meant to spend time with. People or your support system will always stay. And, a good support system is a support system that understands what you're going through, gives you the time, gives you your space to hustle, to be restless, but they'll be also there to kind of back you up and give you all the love that you missed out when you come back. They don't just give you a cold shoulder. You get what I mean?
I think I
So,
have a lot of points here that I would like to elaborate. So one of them is the leverage. But you said that as an experience, I have experience in workplaces. I was working for 10 years for different companies. So when I was working for them, I had this thing in my mind, like wherever they put me, I do my best. Because if I do my best, I learned everything. I learn more, right? If you are somewhere and you hate it, and you are acting like you hate it, and you just don't want to go in, and you are very, and you are different, then you will not get out of it, and you made it for a suffering for yourself. So
yes.
that's what was I was learning from my multinational background, or from all the companies that I was working for. And the second point is what you said, that yes, you can miss a lot of things if you have a big passion. You really don't go anywhere. You just do it 24/7, and you forget about anything else. You are just in your tunnel.
It's
But
just me and Okti.
exactly, it's you and Oti. And I remember we were talking last time, and you had some problems with your legs, and you were still there. And I know that it was hurting, and you were still helping me with some content marketing, because we were working together for a while.
Yes.
So I'm really, I just can tell that Restory is the place to go if you would like to have some content management, because they are so authentic. So but that's the thing, that things happen. You are, as a sole entrepreneur, you are the center of your entrepreneurship. So
Yeah.
you have to also take care of yourself, and you have to find this balance. But at the beginning, let's be honest, Divya,
There's
it's
no
all about,
balance.
there is no balance. You
There's
have
no
to find a
balance.
balance.
Yes. Definitely, Andrea. When you're hustling for something, especially, I know sometimes people say, "Hey, you're too young for this," or they touch like, "What do you know for you to just jump into such a thing?" The thing is, if I don't learn now, if I don't fail and learn from my lessons, when will I do it? And maybe individuals that start at the age of 40 take 10 years and then they become millionaires, or they have hundreds and thousands of dollars in their bank accounts at the age of 50. But what if I start at the age of 20 or 21? Maybe, or just maybe, along the way, maybe at the age of 40, just 10 years ahead of them, I could have the same amount. So I know people say it's not about what age you start, but the learning process begins the moment you decide you want to learn, and the moment you decide you want to improvise in life. Because if you don't, then it doesn't matter. No matter where you work, no matter what you do, if you're not hungry for knowledge, you will never, I believe that you will never, or it's almost impossible to succeed in the things that you really want to do. So yeah, it's all about trying to figure things out, trying to begin early, because I just like having a kickstart. Just to give me maybe a little bit of headspace. I know that at this age I'm supposed to be out enjoying. A lot of people, a lot of my friends, and even long distance family members say this. You're 22, you should be out with your friends. This is the years that you can stay up very long nights. You can travel very far without getting out of the car, stretching your back, and all of that. But this is also the years that I can put all that energy into building something for me. you know um, so that's the thing. You just have to see what comes in front. Do you want to really enjoy and eventually end up with a 9 to 6 job that you might love but you might also hate? At the age of 40, you come back home, you have a very simple family, and you tell your family, your little small family, that all about the bad things that happen on your workday? Or are you gonna um, at the age of 35 come back to your still little family and say, like, I had a very good day because I got to do what I love? And I really just want to go back home be able to come back home with a big smile, even though it's a very tired smile. I want to be able to come back home with a big, big smile because I enjoyed doing what I did for that particular day. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And would add just a little bit of precaution for you, just as an experienced person, being 39 this year. So if you are someone who is young, keep a little bit more time to yourself. So make sure you are not burning out too early. That's
Of
something.
course.
It's hard, but let's just go out with friends. Let's just be a little bit. Keep your inner child awake. I mean, try
Yes.
to keep it until you are
Yeah,
old.
of course, definitely. It's important as well. But maybe um, instead of having 5 days out, maybe cut down three. Go out for 2 days. It will create a space, or your friends might say, "Hey, I miss you," and of course you're gonna miss them back. Of course, it's going to be a lonely journey, but you will have some pit stops within the journey. It's not just you board that plane and then like you have so much fuel you can go all over the globe without stopping. You need to stop by, fill some fuel, get drinks. The pilot needs to stop driving. The pilot needs to switch, take some sleep, get some sleep as well. So yeah, I totally agree with you.
You see, it's lonely, but at the end, it's not lonely because once you start to do what you love, it's very funny. People
Yeah,
start to come to you who are loving the same things because you start to
exactly.
resonate this thing that you love. So
True.
only those people will come around you who love the same thing. Just like you
Yeah.
said, it's okay to leave some people behind if they are not resonating with you or if they don't have the same values. Thank you very much.
True,
It was
true.
it was amazing to talk to you. And I see Cheryl is commenting as usual. Self-care is also important to fuel the
Of course,
journey. And
yes.
she's supporting. Just don't become too extreme on either side. Very important, or you won't
Yeah.
enjoy the journey. Yes, never be too serious, right?
That's the thing about goals and life in general, right? You attract what you radiate. The energy that you radiate to others, the ones that you give out to others, is the one that the same type of people will come to you. Like you said, people will the people that love the same thing as you do will come with you or join hands with you for that journey. And that is so true, Andrea. I do see motivational speakers that say if you hang out with 4 millionaires, you become the fifth millionaire. And um, forgive me to say this, but this is exactly what the motivator said. If you hang out with 4 idiots, you're going to be the fifth idiot. So along that journey, um, of course, keep your inner child alive. I'm young. I still need to make silly mistakes. I still need to get lectured by my parents. I still need to get threatened by my parents saying like, get your act together, or you won't have a roof above your head kind of conversations. But it's also important for my peers and the individuals who are watching right now to know that it's important to hang out or have networks, have conversations with people who you aspire to be like. Because you need a good balance again. We're coming back to balance again. You need that crazy, but you also need that wiseness. You also need that thing that centers you to sanity. Yes, you can go all crazy, but you need someone to come and say, hey, buck up, you know check what you're doing. So yeah.
So I think the audience is resonating with us. So Aishwina is saying that energy is definitely good. You attract the energy you give. Cheryl is saying enjoy the conversation of the class. Proud of you, Divya. So she's very
Thank
proud
you,
of
Miss
you.
Cheryl.
And yeah, it was just an amazing conversation. I love what you share. So it's really, really important, all the points here. I hope the people who were watching us will rewatch it and take a deep breath and try to also digest what we were talking about,
Yeah.
because it's all just different points of views and perspectives. Maybe you are not thinking the same, maybe you are different, but we just want to encourage you to have a perspective, to have a perspective about the world, about young people, about wise people, about different topics, about self-love, about balanced, about opportunities as a kid or a young person. So just make your mistakes and don't feel guilty. Don't guilt yourself if you are working 24/7, because it's okay. We all do that. Let's be honest. And don't
But
guilt
just take a
yourself.
break once in a while, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just take a break when you feel like you are low, and make sure that you are balancing out when you are very tired, and don't go there when you cannot come back. That's the only thing that we have to care about.
Yes,
So
you
Divya,
have
just as the last few points, I'll let you finish, but just keep in mind also that share a little bit of information about yourself, where the people can reach out to you, so that you can have the connection.
All right. Okay. So, thank you all for just tuning in. I loved all the comments. Thanks, Ashwina. I really loved you being here and being very supportive. The thing is, you guys can reach out to me on LinkedIn as Divya Tharshini. You see my name up there. You can find me on LinkedIn. Is that girl with straight hair with a blue blouse, just looking at you and smiling at you as usual. If you see the smile, you'll know it's me. Same makeup, so you don't have to worry if I look different. It's just that I change my hair sometimes. So feel free to reach out to me if you guys need content management, social media management, or even just freelance writing articles and whatever planning that you want to do that has relevance to social media. If you need a facilitator, or you need a moderator for your events, conferences, I'm always happy to jump in, meet new people, and also share the joy on stage and also behind the stage. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So Manu is also saying hi to you. You have a lot of supporters. I saw that also in the panel discussion last time. So that's how a content media manager is doing a good job. If she has a lot of followers, then hire her.
got a lot of love. This is the support I talk about. The falling back to the support. So thank you so much thank you so much to everybody that joined in. Loved having you guys here, and I hope that you get something out of this conversation. And just please bear in mind that opportunities always come your way. Find ways to weigh things out. See what you can grab and grab it. Just grab it, but don't lose yourself in that process. So yeah.
Beautiful finish line. So let's go and have some break. I have 2 hours to have some rest or do backstage work.
Yes, Andrea, please go get the rest that you deserve. I'll be coming to KL soon. I would definitely love to go have some tea, coffee, or whatever that you want. We should hang out because it's been over a year since I met you face to face. I know a lot of speakers and panelists that are, just excited when the borders are open, and I hope we can meet.
I hope so too. So let's go have this break, and thank you very much for doing this. Thank you for everyone who was following us, and see you at tonight's session. We have panel discussions coming up from 7. We have how you can thrive. Sorry, wrong day. I'm getting tired. I need my break. Yeah. So we have Terence Tan in a live interview, healing bitterness or baggage from your past relationship or childhood. Very important thing. Then we have Rob Hose with habits and automation. And then we have a workshop with Anis Fahida about LinkedIn, how to make the most of it. Let's rock your LinkedIn profile. And we finished the night with making the connection between the digital and non-digital world, another panel discussion. And also Clubhouse today because it's Friday, so we will see you at Clubhouse from 10:45.
I will be joining Clubhouse tonight, and I'm not working tomorrow, so I will definitely jump into that conversation.
So meet you
and
there.
Yeah, and I'm quite excited for Taryn's session later. He was amazing during the panel. So the ones that are watching right now, please, please, please just jump into these sessions. And Andrea has lined up amazing speakers and people who can give amazing insights to a lot of things that we are struggling with or we are looking for guidance with. And it's free. This is something that Andrea is doing with her whole heart. And, if you guys can just jump in, watch while you're having dinner, and all of that, just please come in. And thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you so much. Please go have dinner or, lunch or late lunch and perhaps a little nap.
Yeah, we do
And I
that.
will
We
see
do
you
that. I would dance a little bit behind the scenes to relax.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Divya. Bye bye. Have a beautiful evening.
You too.